This is a user interface homepage. What we're about to do is log into the system. A window pops up for either administrative or user name. Then you'd enter your password. At this point, we don't have anything set up, so we're going to go ahead and log into the system. We're going to go to new certification. We're going to get our tong serial number added in. We'll just do 123. Press OK. Power unit serial number 123. Manual size. We're going to be running 5.5 today, so we'll just push 5.5. Setup notes optional. We're not going to add anything today. We'll go ahead and verify. All right, our preliminary setup is platform cleared. Check that bullet. Clear any slip trips and fall hazards. Is platform in good working order? You go through those steps, verify that it all is done. Press yes. Visual inspection and hoist test. Roll the trolley front to back from stop to stop on the jib beam. Check for any signs of abnormal strain or resistance. Run the hoist all the way up until the limit switch is properly engaged, and then run it all the way down until the hook touches the working surface. Inspect the lifting chain and swivel hook for signs of stress. Ensure that the housing on the hand controls are in good working condition and the emergency stop is functional. He's certified that. We'll check yes. Hoist tong. Connect the hoist to the D-ring and raise the assembly to the proper working height. Push the tongs onto the test mandrel and close the tong doors. Secure the tongs to the crane mast with properly rated snub line and clevises. Make sure that all clevises pins are secure and hitch pins or cotter pins are in place. We certified that, so we check yes. Power unit pressure hose to test stand connection. Ensure that the hydraulic pressure line between the power unit and the test stand is in good working order. Verify that the connection on each end is tight and threaded all the way onto the fitting. Ensure that the hydraulic pressure line between the test stand and the power tong is in good working order. Verify that the connection on each end is tight and threaded all the way onto the fitting. Test stand to power tong return hose connection. Ensure that the hydraulic line between the test stand and the power tong is in good working order. Verify that the connection on each end is tightened and threaded all the way onto the fitting. Air supply connection. Is the air supply connected and the PSI level set to manufacturer specifications? Yes. Air supply 150 PSI minimum. Air supply is currently 150 PSI minimum. Question, yes. Systems engaged. Next step is going to start test. Gauges that we got on your user interface: temperature, flow, pressure, return. Your graph, top graph is your torque. Bottom graph is speed, your RPM. As soon as you start collecting data, you'll start getting your kicks across the way. Upon startup of function test of your tongs, we're going to ease into the test stand. We're not going to jar the unit around. We're not going to deadhead it where the tongs takes all the slack out of the snub line, and just don't abuse the equipment. Be aware of your surroundings and others when operating this tool. At this point, we're going to start a function test in a breakout. I moved my pen from make to break. We're now backing it up. We'll run it in high gear. A couple revolutions. Drop it into low gear. At this point, we're going to get ready to start simulating torque. Man on your control panel, supplying air to the brakes. Torque is increasing. (12,000 foot-pounds). Ease into your lever deadhead until you reach your achieved torque. Put your make brake pin back to make. Go back and do another function test. Do one rotation and let what you're seeing right there is your jaws aren't quite opened up all the way, so we put it back onto the mandrel, kind of give your make brake handle, give it a pull or two until your jaws are opened up all the way. Just ease your tongs off. Once your test is complete, go ahead and disconnect your snub line in order for you to lower your tongs onto your work surface. But at that point, you know, all hydraulics and should be shut down. Nothing should be energized, so you're good for disconnect on your snub line. And after that, you're good. We'll end test. They've got guidelines. If they hit the specific torque that they're after, let's say it's 30,000 foot-pounds, and they hit it, they'll go ahead and pass it. Close. System just shut down. If you've got a location in Oklahoma and your home office is in Houston, your man in Houston can watch everything from his computer. Export data. From here, you would choose where you want to send this information. You could store it into the computer, or you can transfer it over here to your flash drive for your USB and take it into the office and have a printable version, or however you want to do it. And at that point, you're done. Log out. You're back to your... Okay, what we're going to do is walk you through the user interface of our tong test stand. This is the control panel. It's a dual iDeck system. We've got two touch screens. First one, you're going to log into the system. Today we're just going to go under my admin. Press enter, log in. Going to go to home. Some of the features that we got on your initial startup screen is demonstration video. This is basically a video to show you how to run the user interface, things of that nature. Kind of gives a quick video of another test stand that we built. This one is a 30,000 foot-pound unit that we're going to be demonstrating on, but the user interface as far as the control panel is the same. And what it does is basically going to show you what I'm going to be showing you physically here, but this is just a video that's already preloaded on the computer itself. So just to kind of show you that, we're going to exit out of that. We're going to go to home. What we're going to do is go to new user or new cert. We're going to put in a tong serial number 234. Let's enter. This is going to go to power unit serial number. Center. This is going to give you your analog torque gauge serial number. And this is going to be your load cell serial number. Then drop down window. Depending on what mandrel sizes you purchased, we'll go ahead and populate that field with whatever you want in your inventory. So this particular customer asked for 3-inch through 20-inch. We'll just go 5.5 or 3.5 rather. Setup notes are optional. That just gives you the chance to make any notes. If you put a new rain gear in your tongs and you want to do a function test on that, you can just make that note. Next step is going to be torque versus turn, or torque and speed versus time. We're just going to do torque versus turn. The control functions on that, you can run a test in a 60-second duration ramp or a 90-second duration ramp. We'll just go 90-second. Target torque that we want to achieve is going to be 30,000 foot-pounds. Hit enter. I'm going to verify that all fields are populated. Now we're going to go to the verification and set up permissive. Preliminary setup 1, platform cleared. Clear any slip, trip, and fall hazards. Is platform in good working order? Yes. Visual inspection and hoist test. Roll the trolley front to back from stop to stop on the jib beam. Check for any signs of abnormal stress or resistance. Run the hoist all the way up until the limit switch is properly engaged, and then run it all the way down until the hook touches the working surface. Inspect the lifting chain and swivel hook for signs of stress. Ensure that all housing on the hand control are in good working order, in good working condition, and emergency stop is functional. Press OK. Now hoist test. Connect the hoist to the D-ring, to the tongs D-ring, and raise the assembly to the proper working height. Push the tongs onto the test manual and close the tong doors. Secure the tongs to the bearing mast with properly rated snub line and clevises. Make sure that all clevis pins are secure and hitch pins or cotter pins are in place. Press OK. Number 2, hydraulics. Power unit pressure hose to test stand connection. Ensure that the hydraulic pressure line between the power unit and the test stand is in good working order, and verify that the connection on each end is tight and threaded all the way onto the fitting. It's okay. Power unit return hose to test stand connection. Basically, it's going to be the same thing. Ensure that the hydraulic return line between the power unit and the test stand is in good working order. Verify that the connection on each end is tight and threaded all the way onto the fitting. So on and so forth. All you're going to do is repeat these last 2 steps. It's the same as the first 2 steps. This one, you're just checking between the test stand and the power unit. Go ahead and just click those. That's okay. Basically, you're verifying that all your connections are made up between the test stand and the power unit, and from the test stand to the tong. Air supply connection. Is air supply connected and PSI level set to manufacturer specifications? Yes. Typically we run between 100 to 150 PSI. Air supply is currently 150 PSI minimum. Yes. We're going to do now all that safety questions have been answered. We're going to start test. On this particular screen, you've got all your gauges. In this setup, we got temperature, flow, supply, and return. We do have the ability to measure viscosity and have a particulate counter. Those two, the viscosity and particulate counter is grayed out because this particular customer did not purchase into those options. Second screen is your test screen. Your graphs, your top graph is going to be torque. Right now we don't got a load applied, so it's reading 0, and we're not turning, so obviously we got 0 RPM. Your auto mode, what it's going to do is we're going to hit that, and right here, as you can see, it's sending air pressure in 1 pound increments to your brake calipers, so that's going to simulate the makeup of a joint. Here's your counter. Remember, we in the setup, we set it up for a 90-second duration.
So once it achieves its target torque, which was 30,000 foot-pounds, it's automatically going to send a signal back to the proportional air regulator, dump all air pressure and hydraulics. At that point, you'll have a window pop up. It'll say test has been complete, and you have the option to pass or fail that. Right now, we're going to go ahead and go into auto mode. We're going to zero out everything. Excuse me. We're going to close. We're going to end auto mode. Go to change. Zero out air pressure. We can send a signal to the proportional air regulator in 1/10 of a pound increments, so we can get closer to our torque without over torquing. We can do it in 1 pound increments, or we can do it in 10 pound increments. And you also have the option to delete as needed. Right there, we're going to go ahead and end test. Since we're not really running a function test right now, we're going to go ahead and fail that. Sorry. Close, then it takes you back to your home screen. Other features on this NEMA 4X panel is your emergency stop and toggle switch with a lockout, tag out capabilities. On the side, you've got a USB port. You got a Cat 3 cable connection, USB port to transfer files. There's another Cat 5. This one right here is for earphones, so you can watch your demonstration video. And we also on this side have capabilities to connect to your network. So you connect through Wi-Fi, you can transfer data from the test stand to a computer inside an office or to another location across the globe. But again, that is the NEMA 4X control panel, dual iDeck touchscreens. Again, I'm Daryl Barrier with A Better Fabrication. Appreciate your interest in what we got going on. Thank you.